Hey, it's been a while since I've made one of these, and just gonna do an update video because I am stuck at home and I am bored and I do not feel well. Um, this craziness with coronavirus is just insane, um, but I take it seriously, especially now. I have been sick for about a week, and I started feeling sick last weekend, and at first I thought I had the flu. I threw up. Not, I was nauseous. I was running a fever of about 102. I called in sick to work for the very first time, and I didn't feel much better the following day, but I did go to work. My symptoms changed over the course of a few days. Um, by Tuesday, I had a bit of a cough, a horrible headache. I mean, just things that were too loud, I just couldn't stand, including my dog barking. It just absolutely got to me. Um, anyway, I wasn't feeling better. I'm recording this on Saturday, so it's been a week. Um, I'm still not feeling great. I still run a fever off and on. So I made an appointment to go to the doctor, and I went to the doctor yesterday, and they tested me for influenza A and B and strep, and all those tests came back negative. She listened to my lungs. I'm not having difficulty breathing, but there have been times where, while I'm at work, I will get kind of winded, where I normally don't. I did start to get a cough about Wednesday, I want to say. I'm not sleeping very well at night. My fever comes and goes. I take Tylenol, it knocks it down, it comes back. I feel weak and just all around blah. I do not feel like myself at all. So they went ahead and tested me for COVID 19 yesterday. Um, it's going to take days to get the results back. So I've got to assume that I have it. I may not. I may just have a really bad cold and not know it. Um, but I sure don't want to infect anybody. My best friend and I usually do stuff on the weekends, like go to church, and the churches are closed, so we can't do that. We usually find something to do, though, even if it's just driving around. Now we can't even do that. Um, he's a really nice guy. He even brings me dinner leftovers, and he brought me some yesterday, but I couldn't go near him. He had to leave it on my porch. I would just feel awful if I ended up infecting somebody, if I had this and got somebody sick. God forbid, what if they got sick and died? If the wrong person gets infected, somebody older. My friend's not in that category, but um, my dad certainly is. My dad, he's 81 years old, so I haven't been home really to see my dad since my mom died. I just haven't been able to. Um, my life was hard enough as it is. I could barely pay my bills, and this is really about to upset my life in a way that I don't even know. So I'm nervous and stuck in this house and sad, very lonely. But I'm used to the loneliness to a point. Part of part of me battling that is my friend, is doing something with my friend. But I am just going to be candid and say that I've had a real struggle with alcoholism in the last couple of months. It started last summer, but I got it under control when I changed jobs, and then through a technicality, I had to be laid off for about 3 weeks in February, around the beginning of February, and I had already kind of started drinking by that point to numb my feelings. It's a cycle that I go through. And it just increased and increased and increased. And I was drinking every day, and the amount was going up again. I could definitely tell that I was leaning on it hard. And since I got sick, I have drank, but not to the point that I was. So I don't know. Maybe this is my silver lining, I guess, because it was really becoming a problem. Um, it affects my health and my judgment in such a way that it's just not good. So anyway, that's where my life has been lately. Um, just kind of stuck at home, hopefully like everybody else is. Um, I don't I don't like what I'm seeing on the TV, the panic, and I don't like hearing that, you know, we're gonna have the country open by Easter. I think that's foolish to even think that. I don't think that you can actually have a timeline. I forgot his name, but the doctor starts with the F. Fauci, I don't know. Anyway, it's like he says the virus dictates the timeline. And just because we're stuck at home doesn't mean we're not going to get sick eventually. They just don't want everybody sick at once. It doesn't mean that you're never going to get it. You'll probably still get it at some point. Um, but all they're trying to do is that whole flattening the curve thing. I get what they're trying to do, but I also think it's foolish in a way. But I get it, and it is a good thing to do. I mean, we don't want to expose ourselves to something. But the whole purpose of it is to not overload hospitals with sick people who need things that they don't have, like ventilators, which they already have trouble procuring. So I get that, but I think a lot of people, from what I'm seeing on the internet and on TV, I think they're thinking, okay, we're all going to stay home. The virus is just going to go away, and I'll never have to deal with it. Well, I don't think that's the case. The virus exists. Um, I think people will probably develop an immunity to it to some degree after they get it. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I like to think I'm educated. And, there's always going to be some virus that mutates. We're always going to have to deal with something like this. Yeah, this is bad. And yes, I just touched my face. Shame on me. But I'm also stuck in my house, so these germs are all mine. Um, and that is really hard to do, by the way, to not touch your face. Do you realize that we touch our faces over, at least 1,000 times a day, if not more? Human beings do this. I don't know why we do, but we do. We've always got to have our hands doing something. So, anyway, for anybody who might comment that I just touched my face, know that I'm stuck in this house and I can't go anywhere. So, also awaiting my COVID-19 test results, and I'm damn sure not going to infect anybody. No, I won't do that. Hopefully it'll come back negative, and I have the worst cold that I've ever had in a long time, and I'll be fine, hopefully. Even if I have it, I know I'll be fine. I'll recover. I had this other symptom too. I can barely walk. My legs, every joint in my body hurts. Like, I wish I could show you how I've been walking. Today my legs are a little better today, and I do have multiple sclerosis, and I do take that into account. But this isn't an MS flare-up. I know the difference. I know what my flare-ups are, and this is just straight up pain. My knees, my joints, they were just hurting so much. But anyway, today that feels better. I don't feel better overall, but that feels better. But I don't know if that's because I'm taking the Tylenol and it helps for a while, or, I just won't know. The biggest thing I'm going to have to do is allow time for it to get over it, which is the hard part. So that's my life. I need to quit drinking completely. Also, if you ever do struggle with alcohol at all, know that you cannot just stop cold turkey, especially if your tolerance is very high. That can kill you. It can give you seizures. It's like going off of It's like taking prescription Xanax for a really long time and then just not taking it, or a benzodiazepine, like Valium or Xanax. You can't just stop cold turkey. It's dangerous. So I'm having to wean myself off of alcohol, and that in itself is hard. I think by the end of the weekend, I'll be past the worst symptoms, and then it's just all about staying away from it. And I need help to do that. I really do. I need encouragement um, from my friends to stay away from it. I'm the type of person that responds to positive feedback, and then I'm more likely to do what I'm supposed to do rather than fuck up. So, and I've fucked up a lot lately. I have. The last 2 months have been just awful for me, and it's just not good. But I'd like to turn that around and salvage some kind of life. And then we got hit with this COVID stuff on top of it. So I really need to get my shit together. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Please wash your hands. Stay away from people if you can. Be calm. Don't panic. If you do get it, chances are you'll be fine. A lot of people get it and they get over it and they're fine. It's really our elders that we really have to worry about. We don't want it infecting them. It can be life-threatening for people over 65 or around that age. So please be mindful of that, especially if you're a young person and you think that this doesn't affect you. It affects you. And it can affect your parents and your grandparents or somebody else's parents or grandparents. So, just be smart. So, hope everybody stays well, and hopefully we'll get over this. Hopefully, this panic and this virus, and it'll start to calm down, hopefully, in the next few weeks. Until then, Netflix, 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 and wash your hands. Thanks. Bye.